actually 10, and the video you're going to be watching in the background is going to be a 56 gun streak with the Ripper. And I know that a lot of you guys have probably seen this on the Team Rated channel, which is why I've tried to make today's video more about the commentary than the gameplay. So yes. So today's commentary topic is going to be 5 tips on how to get better at Call of Duty in general. This isn't just COD Ghosts, it's I've tried to make it so it's like all Call of Duties really. But let's get straight into it. So the first tip is use good classes. This is a really important tip because you're not really going to be doing great if you're using a CBJ thermal sight with flipping incognito on. You're not really going to do very well. So make sure you got the right class for you. I would recommend a Honey Badger, AK-12, all these guns that are good in the game. Just watch other YouTubers' class setup videos. You can watch mine as well. I do have 2 best class setup videos gone up. And also I do go over all my favourite classes for all the submachine guns and assault rifles in my k.e.m site with every SMG/AR. So yeah, there's some videos you can check out if you want to improve on your classes. The next tip that I have on my list is play smart. You've got to know when to play aggressive and when to play more defensive. And you can't just go running around the map, running like balls deep completely, just like running around, not even paying attention to what's going on, because you are going to die quite a few times. You might get lucky on the odd occasion and get like a really fast k.e.m strike or something like that. But overall, you're going to be playing a lot better if you just play like a mix between the two. Play defensive when you feel like you need to, and play aggressive when you feel like you need to. Like say if you know there's a lot of people around that corner, you're not just going to want to go running around. You might want to wait, pick off a couple of them as they come out, and then maybe try and push in and try kill them. Or things like that really, just know in your head what to do, and that mainly just comes from experience really. But that's all I really have to say on that tip. And so the next tip is map knowledge. This one is a really important one. You really need to know the map that you're playing on. I would probably, maybe you can go to private match when like a new DLC map comes out, something like that. Or you can just carry on playing that map and then eventually you will start to understand what's going on. You really need to learn the spawns, specific spawns points on the map. You kind of want to know where the enemies are going to be running to. Like usually on a map there's like a certain area where everyone runs to. Like on this map, for example, Freight, lots of people do tend to go in that 3-story like warehouse building, and they all seem to camp up there. So that's a place where you kind of want to be wary of, that you know there's probably going to be quite a few enemies in there, unless you're spawning that side, and then of course teammates going to be in there. Also, with map knowledge, you really want to know where certain spots are on the map that you feel like you could use to your advantage. And these are things like head glitches and choke points, and where people go in general. Like I said before, people do have a certain spot they like to go on in the map. And unfortunately, there is a lot of camping spots on near enough every map, so it's always great to learn them as well, just so you don't get caught out with them quite a lot, because I'm sure you do know that is quite frustrating. But for tip number 4, we have making yourself less of a target. And you may not really know what I mean by that, but I have some things that I'm going to get over about this topic, and that is things like trying to make yourself hard to kill. Like things like jump shotting, like you want to jump shot around corners. Jump shotting isn't really as effective in COD Ghost, but in Black Ops 2 definitely. If you feel like you're in a chance of losing a gunfight at something like quite a range, then you don't really want to drop shot. You're going to try jump shot and try pick them off. And also, like I mentioned just then, drop shotting is also a great technique on how to avoid getting killed, and for that you're probably really going to need to use the tactical button layout, and if any of you guys don't do that yet, you really do need to. It's going to help you as a player in quite a big way. And I know that it might be different trying to get used to it for a while, but once you get used to it, you'll definitely be happy that you did make the change. So yep, I recommend you guys definitely do that. Also, you're going to want to do a head glitch sometimes, like not just sit on a head glitch for the entire game, but if there's a head glitch nearby and you know that there's enemies there, then definitely take up that head glitch and try and beat them. And if you guys don't know what a head glitch is, which I don't know, maybe some of you wouldn't, it's kind of like, say if there's like a box in front of you, you can just walk up to that box and the enemies can only see your head, whereas you can see their whole body, if you get what I mean. But the next one is pre-aim around corners. That's another thing that you're going to want to do, because that really does help in making you harder of a target to kill. Because when you're going around a corner, you're going to want to aim around it if you have a feeling there could be enemies. Like say if there's like a popular corner, or like around that corner is an area where lots of enemies do tend to be, maybe it's a spawn point, something like that. You definitely want to go around there aiming, just so you're going to be ready for that enemy, because chances are they're not going to know that you're there unless they have something like a SATCOM up. So you're going to be able to take them out quite easily if you're ready for them while aiming. And also with the aiming comes strafing, especially with assault rifles. You're going to want to use the stalker perk, just because if it really helps in like winning a gunfight if you're sliding about, because it's going to make the enemy harder to like shoot you because you're going to be moving about. The axe is going to go off, so strafing is going to really help with that situation. And another thing under the making yourself less of a target, I have don't run around corners. This is a really important thing. When I'm like watching people and they run around a corner where there's pretty much always going to be an enemy, like it's a really popular area, they'll just sprint right around the corner straight into someone's bullets, and that really isn't a good idea. If you have a feeling there's an enemy, the last thing you want to be doing is sprinting around that corner, because it does take you longer to get up your sights and it's going to make a lot easier to kill. But my fifth and final tip on the list is look at the radar. I see when like a lot of my friends who aren't as good players are like playing the game, there's an enemy right behind them. You can see them blatantly flashing up on the radar as a red dot, and they just don't bother killing them. They have no idea he's there, and that's because they don't look at the radar. The radar is a very, very important thing in the game on every Call of Duty, especially things like Black Ops 2 and there's things like VSATs. But overall, the radar is definitely very important, and if you're not looking at it, you're really missing out, because I spend the majority of my game looking at the radar actually, and it really does help. But that's pretty much all the tips I'm going over in this video. If you guys want to see more videos like this, then definitely do let me know in the comment section. So yeah, if you guys have enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.